I'm going to be walking you guys exactly how we book out artists within 30 to 60 days. Usually within 30, sometimes it takes 60. And I'm going to show you guys how to use meta ads the right way. That's the most important thing here. A lot of people think all you need to do is use boost posts. That shit is so... I'll show you guys. All right, so what are we going to get into today? So first things first, I'm going to go over why most artists stay stuck, and I'll get into that right now. I'm going to go over the system on how to fill your calendar within the next 60 days, realistically within the next 30. And then I'm going to show you real artists who've done it and how we've approached that from start to finish. No games, no bullshit. This is the real deal. Also, I just want to mention, like, anything you do, it takes feedback, right? You got to try something, find the errors, and then reiterate. It's not like you just... Don't get me wrong, you can do it one time and you're good, but a lot of what we do is a skill, and so it takes time to learn and experience and know what works versus what doesn't. I'm trying to shorten your learning curve. So first things first, why most artists stay stuck. So a lot of artists that we work with and that we're able to help already have dope ass work. Their shit is good, it looks good, and usually the problem here is visibility. If more people in their area were to see their shit, they would be way more booked up, because if your artwork is good, you know it's good, people tell you it's good, but you have no inquiries, it's because you're getting lost in the sauce. Everybody's seeing this artist or that artist, but you're not popping up on their feed, which means you're not popping up in their mind. How can they book with you if they don't know you exist? So marketing solves a lot of that problem. Social content solves a lot of that problem, but with social content, you have to be putting out a tremendous amount of volume. That's why I love ads, because you don't got to make 100 different ads and post every single day. So doesn't matter how good your fucking work is. If nobody is seeing your shit, you will never get booked. And that's the reality. So the system to fill your calendar, we'll go over that. And then also, like I said, real artists who've done this. Let's continue. So real artists who've done this, here is Nicoletta. She is a tattoo artist out of Newport Beach. She might start traveling pretty soon. But when she came to work with us, she was doing under 2K a month, like literally under 2K, struggling, trying to get it together. We've had consistent 10K months. Like, I think we're on our third month. First month she hit 10K, 7th month it dipped a little, she did 7K, and then finally this third month she did about 10K. This number's a little off. But look at, right here, that's how much profit she made after her ad spend. Her ad spend was literally under $1,000. We were able to generate this much. That was a 16.5 ROAS, return on ad spend, which is a number I'll get into. Okay, really quick, here's Adrian, who we've worked with for 4 months now, but here's the first 3 months. That's what he did the first month. Here's what he did the second month, third month. All together, we've made him this much. So these are real artists that are actually tattooing and are real people. By the way, Adrian's been in the game for 20 years, real G. All right, I'm gonna go over it a little more in depth, and then I'll show you guys how it's done. So look at Nicoletta. She's 19 years old. She just turned 20, I think today, by the way. 2K to 10K within 30 days, bro. She closed 26 deals, over a 10X. It was a 16X, and then she's already considering buying a house. If you don't believe me, in this YouTube page, there's a video where me and her talk for 30 minutes about the whole process. This is what she said. I was skeptical, but I wish I didn't hesitate. She literally said, I wish I started months ago. But again, let's go to Adrian. He did 21K within a month period, his last month. That's over an 11X on ROAS. I think he only spent like $1,000 on the ads. He went from 5K a month to 22K a month. And he's months booked ahead. So I also have a testimonial with him. You can watch that, whatever. Don't hesitate. I wish I would have done this a lot sooner. Okay, he's at about 2K ad spend. I'm lying. All right, now I'm going to get into the mindset before I go over the technical, because you need to understand the mindset. It doesn't matter if you watch this video, if you watch a million different videos, if you do nothing a year from now, you're gonna be in the same position. A lot of times we like to information overload because we think that's gonna get us somewhere. Okay, let me watch this video, let me learn here, let me learn there. If you don't take any fucking action in your life, nothing will ever change. And don't think you have to take perfect action. Any action is good action. And so I'd recommend trying what I'm about to show you. And if it's too complicated, if it's too complex, reach out to me on Instagram. I might not respond right away, but I'll do my best to try to help you out. Okay. Last thing I'm gonna go over, and then I promise you I'm gonna get into all the fucking meat and potatoes of this shit. Post and pray. A lot of people rely on this method right now, and I see it. A lot of tattoo artists just post and post and post, and they're like, dude, I hope a client's gonna come in. It's literally like betting your income on an algorithm, and you're betting at such a low scale. I'll tell you why, because while you might be posting once a week, twice a week, maybe 3 times a week, there's dudes out here that are literally posting every day, and they're coming at it strategic. They're trying this angle, they're trying that angle, they're experimenting. Meanwhile, you're just posting and hoping. Bro, you're never gonna be in a better position if you operate it like that. If you're gonna go content, try a strategy, think, try, post every fucking day. If not, I understand. You're a tattoo artist. You're not a fucking content machine. And you lose people because you can't post all day. So what we do, you don't need to post all day. I'm gonna show you. Finally, I'm gonna show you. I'm sorry. This is exactly how the system works. Okay, first of all, what happens here is you get predictable lead flow. You have an influx of conversations through messaging. And so there's people that land in your DMs literally every day. You're having conversations and talking to them. You know, not everybody is going to be able to book with you. There's going to be a lot of people that are looking around, trying to price shop, but it's understanding how to convert these people from, okay, little interested to more interested. And there will be people that are very interested, might I add. So look at, we're able to see results at about $20 to $30 a day to get started. As you grow, as you play with the house's money, quote unquote, you can start to up your ad spend, but I would recommend $20 to $30 per day to start. How not to do it. I left this blank because I didn't want to show like anybody's shit here, but how not to do it is you don't want to make ad creatives. Ad creatives, I mean like posts that you're going to be advertising that look like everybody else's. What do I see? I see a lot of agencies that advertise for people. I see a lot of, you know, fucking tattoo artists that all do the same static post. It all looks very fucking similar. And the problem with this is if you look like the rest of the market, everybody looks the same, why would they go with you versus these other artists who are all doing the same flyers, all giving the same $200, $500 discount? They're gonna be shopping around with you based on price and not your actual selling points. And that's what we like to go over on these ads. So let's get started. So I'm gonna pop these videos on screen real quick. I want you to watch them.
If you've been putting off your tattoo, it's not because you're not ready. It's because you don't trust the process yet. Most people go into tattoos guessing placement, size, how it flows. That's how you end up with something you regret. At my studio, nothing starts until we map everything out. The design, placement, flow with your body. You walk in with clarity and walk out knowing exactly what you're getting. I've got a 20 years experience in black and gray realism, and if you're serious about getting it right the first time, send me a DM.
Been wanting to get a big tattoo, but you're afraid of spending big money? You're not. My name is Nika. I'm a tattoo artist that works out of Newport Tattoo in Newport Beach. I like to do solid color, solid black beak work. I'm talking anything from entire chest piece, back piece, sleeves, leg sleeves, anything like that. As long as it is big and bold, we can make it happen. I know how to pack in black solid that you don't need to touch up and you don't need to worry about fading in the future. And you can have a design that will stay as beautiful the first day as it will in 10 years. If you're not sure about placement or design, we can talk about it. Just DM me any of your ideas and we can work out something super cool at a budget-friendly price.
Okay, so these are what winning ad creatives look like. What does that mean? So when you're advertising on Meta or Instagram and you're running ads just like every other tattooer, what's gonna happen is the customers are going to see your ad, they're going to see their ad, they're going to see all these different ads. And what we have to keep in mind is how are we getting people to book with us? You know, just showing the work is no longer a viable method. You could get inquiries, but you're not giving them enough of a reason to book. So the way we design these scripts are actually to get them to book. So first of all, we're calling out the city we're in. That way we can get locally targeted people, and people that are hitting you up know that you're in the area, right? Like, you're the artist that's super close to them. They could easily check in with you. They could work with you. That's the first thing. We're also showing a lot of face. Now, what you guys do is a service-based industry. They're going to be working directly with you. And so they have to get a feel, they have to get a vibe of who you are. I'm not saying this is the only type of video you need to run. You need creative diversity, which I'll touch on. But right now, this is working. This is called UGC style videos. And don't get me wrong, I started off as a videographer. I'm really good at what I do, but these videos are meant to feel like they were made by the artist. It feels very personal. There's a lot of connection there. And we're touching on points that, you know, they could actually resonate with. For example, Nicoletta, a lot of her videos in her campaign, we touched on, you know, how much she cares about doing these pieces and, you know, how her color holds on skin and the way she approaches it from a technical angle. And what we're doing here is we're letting people know that, hey, when you come get tattooed with me, it's not just a cool tattoo. Like, I actually care about how it heals, how it looks. There's all these selling points which you have to identify with yourself. Maybe you're a type of tattoo artist that likes to go dark, in which case I'm not just gonna sit here and say, hey, yeah, I like to go dark on my tattoos, hit me up. Fuck no. It's like, yo, I tattoo this way, that way it could hold over time. A lot of tattoos end up fading. So with my approach, my technique, I make sure it lasts over time. So, you know, it's understanding what your unique selling points are and giving that to the market. Let's say you have a really good consultation process. We want to touch on points like clarity, because people get scared, you know, they don't know if they go into a place and they might not get the tattoo they want. Okay, let's touch on clarity. When you come to me, I don't put any fucking needle on your skin until we're clear with the design. So it's finding those reasons. And, you know, going back to the point that I made earlier, it's being able to have diverse creatives. What do I mean? This is just one style of video, but there's another style of video. There's 100 different styles of videos. Another style of video is me sitting down. Instead of selfie in hand, it's camera to me and I'm talking directly to the user. Another style of video is green screen, where I'm talking about work. Another style is split screen formats. And so while you're launching a full campaign, just putting one style, you're setting yourself up for a loss, because people buy in different ways, and we have to be able to give people different creatives. Right? If we're just doing the same script, the same ad over and over and over and over, all in one campaign, it's the same fucking messaging. With the way Meta is right now, we have to hit them with different angles of approach, and they stack on top of each other. It's known as ad sequencing. Some people might see the top of funnel ad gets a lot of views, a lot of leads, then middle of funnel where you're more educational, then bottom of funnel where it's a call to action, like, yo, I only got X. There's so many different ways you could do this. On top of it, you can add static ads, but make sure they stand out from everyone else, right? Okay, and you know, before I move on to the next phase, I really want to let you guys know that the creatives are so important in these ads. It's like where a lot of the heavy lifting is done right now. Before, it used to be targeting, and you know, with targeting, it's fine-tuning the audience, setting the parameters. And don't get me wrong, you could still do that. You still set suggestions, but a lot of who's gonna reach out and who you're gonna target is dependent in these ad creatives, because Meta introduced Andromeda last year, which is its new update, and it analyzes all the creatives and it figures out who to target from that. And you know, when you're making scripts and you're writing what you're going to say, you really want to pay attention to messaging, because what you're saying in these scripts is going to attract the people that you're talking to. For example, if I'm starting off a video and I'm like, dude, you know, if you've been tired of all these expensive tattoos, I got you. I'm gonna hook you up. I'm gonna give you a $200 discount. That sounds good. You might get a lot of people, but you're gonna start to attract clients that are very cheap, looking for discounts, versus if you do a similar script where you're like, hey, you know, people that book with me really appreciate fine art, and they're willing. I have clients that travel from here, here, and here, all to come get tattooed by me. So it's like the positioning, right? You're not positioning yourself like a cheap artist. You're positioning yourself like a luxury, expensive artist. But what you have to know is positioning yourself as cheap is not the only way to get customers, and I want you guys to know that. So metrics. A huge thing with metrics, or a huge thing with ads, is tracking the actual metrics. You know, a lot of people optimize for this number right here, the cost per result. We run a lot of messaging campaigns, and so they think when they see an ad that has a low cost per result, they're automatically winning. Don't get me wrong, you want a low cost per message, but it's not the end all be all solution. People that track it like this actually don't make the most money, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because let's say you're launching a campaign with 5 different ads, 10 different ads. You might have an ad that's bringing you in a low cost per message at $2, let's say. And by the way, this is a campaign level, this is not an ad level, but you might have a low cost per message, but just because an ad on there has a low cost per message, it doesn't mean it's driving conversions. Because what if in that ad you say something that's getting a lot of people to hit you up, but the people that came in through that ad are having conversations that don't go anywhere? And so you have to pay attention to, when you're launching these ads, which ads are actually generating you deals. And you have to look in the conversations. Okay, I closed this guy. What ad did he come from? Okay, he came from ad number 3, which actually is a $4 cost per message, which might scare people off. But then you could attribute an $800 sale, $1,000 sale to that specific ad. So the reason I'm saying this is because you don't want to kill ads that are actually attributing to sales. And you know, a subtle thing you have to keep in mind here is what's known as ad sequencing. It's what I touched on earlier. There's top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. All that means is when people see these ads, they see them in different sequences. Meta knows how to order the ads. So they might see one ad that's very wide funnel, a lot of people. It's very easily digestible. I'll give you an example. I ran an ad for one of my old clients, Louis, and you know, it was a green screen where he's like, all these motherfuckers are saying that my work's too dark. It's just meant to spark a lot of engagement. That's a top of funnel ad. Now, middle of funnel is him educating them on why it's dark. So the reason I tattooed like this, blah, blah. Bottom of funnel are more call to action videos where, you know, he's saying his script and it's like, yo, DM me now, blah, blah. So I don't want to get too deep into it, but just because you have a high cost per message doesn't mean you should kill it, especially if the ads are compounding off of each other. People might see one ad, they get retargeted with the second, and then they get retargeted with the third, and then that third ad, which has a higher cost per message, you kill. But that's the one converting, you feel me? So these ads work together sometimes, and that's just something I need to explain with you. So ROAS, you always have to calculate. Don't ever not calculate ROAS. This is how you calculate ROAS. ROAS is return on ad spend. Let's say for the month, or for the time being, let's say you're running ads for 2 weeks. At that time point, you have to go into your account and see how much money you spent. Okay, I've spent $600, let's say. All right, cool. How many deals have I closed from this? That's why trackability is important. You have to be marking the deals that you closed and from which ads they came from. You have to be doing that. So now, if you've spent $600, but you closed 5 deals at $1,000 each, that's $5,000. 600 made you 5,000. Okay, we're up. We're playing with the house's money. Now we can dump more into ads. And so the way you calculate that, I'm not going to go over, I'm not a mathematician here. You can literally chat GPT it, but it's the amount you made. Let's say $5,000, you spent 600, you put a multiplier on it, which is close to like an 8x ROAS, I'm guesstimating. You need to be tracking these numbers. Long story short, if you're not fucking tracking these numbers, you're in a situation where you have no clarity and you're making decisions emotionally. When you're running these ads, you cannot make emotional decisions. They have to be logic-based decisions based on the metrics. You need to do this every time you get a close. Once again, write it down. What ad did it come from? How much money have I made? How much money have I spent? A lot of people kill ads. If you're up, do not fucking kill ads. Reiterate, make more ads, keep dumping, because you're playing with the house's money at this point. It's literally like you're at the casino. All right, so a little bit about what we do. So we make ads for artists. We film them, we edit them, and you never touch anything on the editing or anything like that. Like, we literally send you the scripts based on your unique selling points. How do we come up with that? We spend an hour with you on the phone identifying those unique selling points, and then we give that to the market. We actually manage everything from start to finish. Everything I showed you here, honestly, I didn't go super in depth. I just wanted you guys to get the purpose, but everything we do in here, we manage it to make sure that you're getting inquiries, DMs every week. And then what we also do, which a lot of people don't do, is we coach you to your close, because we can get you all the fucking leads in the world. If you're not closing shit, you're in a bad position. So we help you in the DMs, but also because, what was I gonna say? You know, cold traffic that doesn't know you, they don't behave like warm traffic. Warm traffic is people that have followed you for years. They might have got work done. They know who you are. They have mutual friends maybe. But cold traffic is people that have no idea who you are. And so you have to talk to them a little bit differently than just the way you would talk to warm traffic. You know, and a lot of people don't understand that. But these people, this is their first time seeing you. They just opted in. They got to get to know you. If you right away and you go talk money, like, a lot of times you turn these people away. You have to have customer service, you know, make sure they feel taken care of, go through the process with them. You have to have a lot of patience. And sometimes that's frustrating for people. All right, so this is kind of what we do. We don't lock in any artists to any terms. If you're curious on trying us out, we do 30-day periods, whatever. Look, man, my whole objective here is to try to give you guys a little sauce. If you need more info or whatever it is, just drop a comment, and, you know, I'll try my best to make a video on your comment and give you a little bit of sauce. So before I end, I just want to let you guys know, like, ads, they take time, you know. Like, we're able to get people these results because we've done this for so long, and for so many artists, we know what works. But biggest thing, like I mentioned, is the ad creative. If you run a campaign and it doesn't work the way you want it to, try a different ad creative. Try a new angle of approach. Maybe what I'm saying is not speaking to the market. Okay, let's switch it up. Let's figure out what's working. The reason we're able to do it fast is because we have so much fucking data. But if you've never done it, you're in a situation where you have to try and figure out what works. But the thing is, it's like, is my ad not working? Am I not spending right? There's all these variables, but with experience you'll gain that. So my whole point is, like, don't just try it once, it doesn't work, and then you give up. Actually try. If it doesn't work, reiterate and keep figuring it out. It will take time. If you want to speed up the process, hit someone up like myself. Obviously we charge, but I'll do my best to help you. All right, talk soon. Bye-bye.